Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Leslie Danford on the line, and she is a founder of Vitaminis, and this episode is part of our Expo West series where we bring you the best of those that attended and participated in Expo West. Leslie, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
All right, so I'm excited to learn about Vitaminis. For great name, first off. We'll get into that in a moment. But before let's get into Expo West a little bit. So I know you attended and participated. Tell me about the experience. I know that event is massive.
Yes, it was my first time at Expo West. So I had done Expo East and then Newtopia Now and a couple of other trade shows. I'd never been to Expo West. So it was overwhelming, to say the least. But I will say, though, that everyone that I wanted to talk to was there, whether it was other brands that I admired, retailer contacts, potential investors, partners. It was amazing. Like, the quality of the connections was definitely without comparison. So unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to go back every year now.
There you go. That's what happens. They do a good job, then you got to go back. I agree with you. Let's get into Vitaminis. First off, I see the term founder here. So you're a founder. What, like, were you always an entrepreneur? Like where did all that begin? You think you'd be an entrepreneur in the healthcare space?
Well, that's funny that you asked that, because in college I was a member of the Chicago Entrepreneurial Group, and I have always been sort of fascinated by being an entrepreneur and wanted to start a company. But then I sort of embarked on like a 15-year corporate career in between. So just prior to starting Vitaminis, I had worked for several years as a management consultant to big corporates in consumer. Then I worked for a large beverage alcohol company. So I've always loved consumer, and I always wanted to start a company, but it took me a while to come around to actually doing it. But now that I am running my own business, I feel like it's what I was meant to do. So happy.
So you were okay with the pain of being an entrepreneur, right?
Well, I would say I'm okay with it, but
Nothing's ever easy. I always said, this is a real show, by the way, Leslie, so my audience knows. Like, we talk about pain all the time.
Oh, yeah. It's funny when you say the pain is okay. I'm like, well, I don't know if I go that far, but you know what? The pain of not doing something that you've always deep down wanted to do, that's what I didn't want to feel, right? Because at some point I'd been thinking about starting a company for so many years that I think if I never gave it a chance, I would always regret that. So trade one pain for the other, put it that way.
So tell me, Leslie, when did you come up with the idea for the minis? Like, where'd that start?
That was a long process, but I have always been a nutrition person and thinking about vitamins and minerals and content in my food and believing food is medicine, et cetera. So for a long time, I was looking toward vitamin pills and different solutions out there, but I never loved it. Like, vitamin pills make me feel nauseous. And when you look at the ingredients, there's like gums and fillers. And then I tried gummy vitamins for a while for both myself and my kids, and they stick to your teeth. You got to eat a whole bunch of them. It feels like candy habit with the sugar. And I was always looking for what, like, actual food or beverage, like real food-based solution is out there that has all the good nutrition. And of course, you know, you could eat like 25 different veggies or whatever, but I had no time to do that. I was working full time. I had 4 kids, 4 kids over the years. And I just kept looking and looking for that solution. And just before starting Vitaminis, I was working in the beverage industry. And while I was in the beverage industry, we saw a lot of research around consumers wanting more ready-to-drink formats, convenience, and also nutrient density and clean label. And it all kind of clicked for me. It was like, yeah, that's what I want too. I want something that's convenient, clean, real beverage with maybe real fruit juice, but that has all that extra nutrition to kind of make me feel like I'm checking all those boxes. And so that's kind of where the idea came from. It took several years, but it kind of came together in my mind from a lot of different experiences.
Dang, that's a great story. And when you think about like the product development side of things, and you told a little bit, but I'm just curious. And the reason I asked this question is because there's a lot of other people that, you know, that want to be in that industry or otherwise, and they're, you know what I mean, like hit or miss and trying to develop new products. Like how'd you stick with it until you had a product that you were like, okay, this I can take to market? Like how was that process of it for you, even just mentally, because it's tricky?
Oh yeah, that is a process. So interestingly, I started the company around COVID times, and looking back on it, that really influenced a lot of what happened with how I started, because few things. Number one, all the stores were closed and we weren't really sure if the shopper was ever going to go back to in-person shopping, which is sort of funny to think about now. So I knew it had to be shippable. And so that influenced both the size of the bottle. So instead of doing a full-size drink, I did a shot. And it also influenced the shelf stability. So instead of doing fresh pressed juice, I did a hot-filled shelf-stable juice only because of that, because I knew it had to be shippable. So if you think about that, that was a major factor. And then the third aspect that it influenced is my original product vision was the gut health product. But because it was COVID times, I interviewed a bunch of potential customers, and they all said, we want immunity because of COVID. And so I ended up launching an immunity shot. So the first product, the fact that it was a shot, the fact that it was immunity, and the fact that it was a shelf-stable juice were all influenced by that time period.
Man, I'm glad I asked that question. I don't usually say that, by the way, Leslie. I don't know, the last time I said that, I'm like, whoa, that's amazing. So if we're going, present day, so let's fast forward a bit into your entrepreneurial journey and kind of getting this out to market. Let's start with maybe the what makes Vitamin-E's different question, and then I want to kind of unpack what it's like to scale something like this. But let's start with, what makes Vitamin-E's different. Let's set the stage there.
Yeah, and it actually builds really well off what we were just talking about because our shelf stability is very unique. So most of the other juice shots in the market are fresh pressed juice. They have short expiration dates. They have to be in a refrigerated supply chain. You can't get them delivered to your house on subscription, or if you did, you'd have to get it with dry ice and all of that. So that is actually our number one competitive advantage, and it directly came from having to just cope during COVID. Wow. So I'm really glad that worked out. Yeah. The other thing that's very different is we are juice. So unlike some other supplement shots, so the fresh pressed juices are juice, but then there's some other shots in the market that are supplements, and we are not. We are juice. And so that's different because you would not really necessarily give a supplement shot to your child, for example, because it's got, 1,000% of this or that in there.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But as a juice, we are really a family oriented solution. So our target customer is typically a mom. She wants nutritious food in the fridge. She cares about nutrition. And then she's putting the Vitamin-E's in lunch boxes. She's taking one with her breakfast. Everyone in the house is drinking them. And so that is very unique as well because we're almost like a family supplement in a way. I mean, we're not a supplement, but that's how our customers use us. And then the third thing sort of related to that is our vitamin and nutrient orientation is different. So a lot of the juice shots out on the market talk about the benefits of ginger or turmeric or different food ingredients. And we are talking more about the benefits of the vitamins themselves, the magnesium, the zinc that we fortify our products with. So that's unique too. So we're kind of playing in a very unique space, even though wellness shots are quite crowded with competition. We're coming at it from a little bit of a different angle.
Wow, that's amazing. So where are you at in and I like a couple of things that you said here. So let's move maybe the conversation over to the business side of what it's like to run and to distribute a company like this. A couple of themes that you mentioned came in, and I think this is pretty well established, that shelf life is great. You can ship it. There can be subscription, all of those kind of things that you're planning for and how you're rolling this out with subscription and other things. I've seen other brands, some other successful brands do this as well. Talk to me about what it's like to the challenges of being a founder and by phase and what that looks like.
Yes, it is. It changes all the time. And it's funny because I think originally in your earlier question, I didn't answer this part, but you were talking about in the formulation idea phase, kind of what that's like as a founder. And it's really difficult because you don't really have a lot of information, and I remember being just nervous. I'm developing this product. I'm nervous to put it out on the market because it's like your baby and you don't know, people are going to think it's a good idea. Are they going to like it? Are they going to hate it? So you have to really trust yourself. And I actually think if I think about my personal growth as being an entrepreneur, that is one area that has really changed me is you have to trust your own intuition, your own judgment, and your own ability to get it done because there's so much uncertainty and no one is going to validate you and say oh, yep, it's going to be successful. You got this. It's just you and your product. So especially as a solo founder, there's no one else. But I will say, though, that the other nice thing about those early days is nothing is permanent. And since founding my original idea with Vitamin E's, I changed the formula a little bit. I changed the packaging. I've made many adjustments. So that's the other thing that I think early stage founders need to remember is it's okay to put something out there that's not perfect. Put it out there, and then you can always adjust as you go, get feedback and grow and change over time. So I think trusting yourself to be able to navigate that is critical. And then I think after a while, when I say a while, I mean, for me, it was probably 3 years of that uncertainty of some feedback, but you're just not sure what's going to happen. And then after about 3 or 4 years, we're like in year 5 now. That's when I really felt like I had enough market feedback, whether it be reviews or velocities at retail or interest in the product, that I actually feel more confident that there's good traction and real potential there. But for a long time, it really is uncertain.
Love it. Now, let's look at where you're at. And this is the dreaming part of the show, if you will, Leslie. So we're, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of executives that listen to this show, investors and otherwise, like your plans for the future, like give me the overall vision.
Yeah, so I would love for Vitamin E's to become a platform of mini bites and sips. That's how I talk about it. So we've got our mini drinks or wellness shots now, but I'm picturing mini bites, like 1 inch by 1 inch fruit bars that are all clean, no added sugar, all natural, but with added vitamins, nutrients, fiber. Lots of just convenient solutions, stick packs, maybe dissolvable tablets, everything mini, everything clean. And that would allow us to go after the broader 69 billion functional food and beverage market in the U.S., not just the beverage side of things. And so that's the vision, just really being a trusted brand where people know if they're giving vitamins to their kids or they have it in their fridge or their cabinet, they know it's clean, they know it's nutritious, and they trust us to kind of be that staple in their routine. And I'd love to be available everywhere, right around the corner from everyone, delivered to your door, in the grocery store, just like a household name. That's the goal.
Amazing. Leslie, it's been great having you on today. This has been a lot of fun learning more about what you do, also about Vitamin E's, the plan, the vision for the future, and how the product was developed. Wow, what a story. I'm happy to bring this to my audience. I think there's a lot of learning and a lot of takeaways from this. That being said, if somebody's listening or watching this, and if they want to follow up and learn more and connect with the brand, how do they do that?
Yes, thanks for asking. Well, we're at vitaminease.com, so it's like vitamin, but with an IS at the end. And come to our website, check out our store finder. We just launched a 400-store pilot with Walmart. So we're in a lot of locations nationwide. We're in Sprouts nationwide as well, so you can find us in a nearby store. If you drop your email, I'll send you a coupon to try our product through our D2C business. And also, we have a great email list. We send out recipes, educational info about your gut or what magnesium does for you or all sorts of good things. We have dietitians and experts in our email featured as well. And then we're on all the social media platforms at Vitamin E's brand. So come find us.
Wonderful. And for everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so you can just click on the links and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. You heard me right. Each and every day we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way on your journey as well. So hit that subscribe or follow button. And Leslie, wishing you much more continued success. Thanks again.
Thank you so much.